The Art of Letting Go. How to Find Peace After a Heartbreak. By Margaret Light. Description: The Art of Letting Go, How to Find Peace After a Heartbreak, is a heartfelt guide to navigating the emotional journey of healing and rediscovering yourself after a breakup. This book explores the universal experience of heartbreak, offering compassionate advice on accepting pain, embracing self-love, and letting go of the past. Through mindfulness practices, gratitude, and the power of forgiveness, readers learn to reframe their narrative and find closure. With inspiring insights and practical tools, this empowering journey helps transform heartbreak into a chapter of growth, resilience, and renewal, leading to a brighter future filled with hope and possibilities. Chapter Outline. Introduction: The Journey to Healing. Chapter 1: Understanding Heartbreak. Chapter 2: The First Step: Accepting the Pain. Chapter 3: The Power of Self-Compassion. Chapter 4: Understanding the Role of Attachment. Chapter 5: The Importance of Setting Boundaries. Chapter 6: Rebuilding Your Sense of Self. Chapter 7: Finding Closure Without an Apology. Chapter 8: The Healing Power of Gratitude. Chapter 9: Navigating the Waves of Loneliness. Chapter 10: Rediscovering Joy. Chapter 11: Reframing the Narrative. Chapter 12: Letting Go of What Could Have Been. Chapter 13: Healing Through Mindfulness. Chapter 14: The Role of Forgiveness. Chapter 15: Love After Heartbreak. Chapter 16: Embracing a New Beginning. Introduction: The Journey to Healing. Heartbreak is one of the most profound and universal experiences a person can endure. It transcends age, culture, and background, binding us together in our shared humanity. Whether it comes from the end of a romantic relationship, the loss of a dear friend, or unfulfilled dreams, heartbreak has a way of shaking us to our core. It leaves us feeling raw, vulnerable, and searching for answers. Yet, amidst the pain, there is an undeniable opportunity for growth, renewal, and rediscovery. This journey begins with acknowledgement. Heartbreak is not something we can wish away or ignore. It demands to be felt. Pain, while uncomfortable, is a testament to the love or effort we invested. It reminds us that we are capable of caring deeply and committing ourselves to something or someone outside of ourselves. To acknowledge pain is not to dwell on it, but to validate its presence. Denying its existence only prolongs the healing process. When we allow ourselves to face heartbreak head-on, we take the first courageous step toward letting go. Letting go is not a passive act. It requires immense bravery to release the grip of memories, to stop clinging to what once was or what could have been. It is a process of untangling the threads of connection and finding peace in the spaces left behind. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or dismissing the significance of what was lost. Instead, it means learning to coexist with those memories in a way that doesn't hinder our present or future. It means making room for new experiences and allowing ourselves to embrace the possibility of joy once more. This book is a guide for those navigating the stormy seas of heartbreak. It is for anyone who feels lost, stuck, or uncertain about how to move forward. The path to peace after heartbreak is not a straight line. It is a winding journey, filled with moments of progress and setbacks. But each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to rediscovering who we are and what we are capable of becoming. In the chapters ahead, we will explore the multifaceted nature of heartbreak. Together, we will delve into the emotional, mental, and even physical toll it can take. Understanding why heartbreak feels so overwhelming is a key part of dismantling its power over us. We will also discuss practical tools for addressing the pain, such as practicing self-compassion, setting boundaries, and fostering a deeper connection with oneself. This book also seeks to provide perspective. Heartbreak often blinds us to the bigger picture, trapping us in a loop of self-doubt or regret. By reframing our narrative and shifting our focus, we can begin to see heartbreak not as an ending, but as a catalyst for growth. Every loss carries lessons, and every wound has the potential to heal stronger than before. The journey to healing involves patience and persistence. It is about learning to sit with discomfort without being consumed by it. It is about finding meaning in the seemingly senseless and forging a new path forward. Along the way, we will discuss the importance of forgiveness, not just of others but of ourselves. We will explore how to embrace gratitude for what the experience taught us, even as we let go of what it took from us. Ultimately, this book is a celebration of resilience. Heartbreak, though painful, is a testament to our capacity to love, to dream, and to invest ourselves in something meaningful. It is also a reminder of our ability to rise, adapt, and find peace on the other side of loss. As you turn these pages, my hope is that you will find comfort in knowing you are not alone. Heartbreak may feel isolating, but it is an experience shared by many. Through stories, insights, and practical guidance, this book is here to walk alongside you. This is your journey, and it is one worth taking. Together, we will explore the art of letting go and discover the beauty that lies beyond heartbreak. The road may not always be easy, but it leads to a place of peace, self-discovery, and renewal. Healing is possible, and it begins with you. Chapter 1: Understanding Heartbreak. Heartbreak is a profound and multifaceted experience, one that touches the core of our being. It is an emotional earthquake, shaking the foundations of who we are and what we thought we knew about ourselves and the world around us. Understanding heartbreak requires us to delve deeply into its layers, recognizing not only its impact, but also its inevitability in the human experience. At its essence, heartbreak stems from loss, a loss of love, trust, dreams, or even the version of ourselves we held dear. Emotionally, heartbreak manifests as a torrent of feelings: sadness, anger, confusion, guilt, and despair. These emotions often come in waves, surging when we least expect them. A song, a scent, or a passing thought can act as a trigger, plunging us back into the depths of our grief. Mentally, heartbreak challenges our ability to focus and think clearly. It can feel as if our minds are stuck in an endless loop, replaying memories and conversations, searching for clues or closure. This mental exhaustion often leads to self-doubt, making us question our worth or wonder if we could have done something differently to change the outcome. Physically, heartbreak takes a toll on our bodies as well. The term heartbreak is not merely a metaphor; the pain is real and visceral. Studies have shown that emotional distress can activate the same areas of the brain as physical pain. This is why heartbreak often feels like a physical ache in the chest, a tightness that refuses to loosen. It can disrupt sleep, appetite, and energy levels, leaving us feeling drained and disconnected from our bodies. The overwhelming nature of heartbreak is largely due to its ability to disrupt our sense of identity and self-worth. When we invest in a relationship or a dream, we weave it into the fabric of who we are. Losing it is like losing a part of ourselves. It creates a void that we are unsure how to fill, leaving us grappling with questions of who am I now and where do I go from here. Heartbreak also challenges our need for control. Humans thrive on predictability and stability, and heartbreak shatters both. It forces us to confront the uncertainty of life, teaching us that not everything is within our grasp to control or fix. This realization can feel terrifying, but it is also the seed of transformation, pushing us to grow and adapt. The pain of heartbreak is a testament to our capacity to love deeply and care passionately. It is a mirror reflecting the beauty of what we valued, and the courage it took to give a piece of ourselves to something or someone else. Understanding this does not erase the pain, but it helps us view it with compassion rather than judgment. As we begin to unpack the layers of heartbreak, it's crucial to remember that it is not a sign of weakness or failure. It is a natural response to loss, one that unites us in our shared humanity. By understanding its effects on our emotions, mind, and body, we take the first step toward reclaiming our sense of self and finding the strength to heal. Chapter 2: The First Step: Accepting the Pain. Acceptance is often the most challenging part of the healing process, yet it is the cornerstone of recovery. To accept the pain of heartbreak is to acknowledge its presence without resistance or denial. It means giving ourselves permission to feel, to grieve, and to process the depth of our emotions. Facing the pain head-on requires bravery. In a world that often glorifies moving on quickly, we may feel pressured to suppress our feelings, to smile through the hurt, or to pretend that we are unaffected. But true healing cannot occur in the shadows of avoidance. Pain demands to be felt, and in feeling it, we begin to understand its purpose. Sadness is a natural response to loss. It is the heart's way of mourning what once was. Allowing ourselves to cry, to sit with the heaviness, is not a sign of weakness but of strength. Each tear shed is a step toward releasing the burden we carry, making room for light to re-enter our lives. Anger, too, has its place in the healing process. It is a fiery emotion, one that often stems from feelings of betrayal, injustice, or unmet expectations. Instead of suppressing anger, we can channel it constructively, through writing, physical activity, or even speaking our truth to a trusted friend. Anger, when acknowledged and expressed healthily, can become a catalyst for empowerment and change. Grief is not linear. It ebbs and flows, surprising us with its intensity one moment and its absence the next. Accepting this unpredictability is part of the journey. There is no right or wrong way to grieve, no set timeline for when we should feel better. Healing is a deeply personal process, unique to each individual. Techniques for accepting and processing pain include mindfulness and self-compassion. Mindfulness teaches us to stay present, to observe our emotions without judgment. By sitting quietly and focusing on our breath, we create a space to acknowledge our feelings without being consumed by them. Self-compassion, on the other hand, reminds us to treat ourselves with the kindness and understanding we would offer a dear friend. It is the practice of saying, "It's okay to feel this way. You are human, and this pain will not last forever." Journaling is another powerful tool for acceptance. Writing down our thoughts and emotions allows us to give them form, to externalize what is swirling inside us. It provides clarity and insight, helping us untangle the web of feelings we may struggle to articulate. Sometimes acceptance involves seeking support. Talking to a trusted friend, therapist, or support group can be a lifeline during moments of despair. Sharing our pain with others reminds us that we are not alone, that heartbreak is a shared experience, and that there are people who care and understand. As we learn to accept the pain, we also begin to accept ourselves. Heartbreak does not diminish our worth, it does not define who we are. It is a chapter in our story, one that teaches us resilience, empathy, and the art of letting go. By embracing our emotions and allowing them to flow through us, we create the foundation for healing, a foundation rooted in courage, authenticity, and hope. Chapter 3: The Power of Self-Compassion. Heartbreak often has a way of exposing our most vulnerable selves. In moments of grief and self-reflection, it can become all too easy to turn the pain inward, blaming ourselves for what went wrong or questioning our own worth. This cycle of self-criticism, while common, can be one of the greatest obstacles to healing. During such a challenging time, the practice of self-compassion becomes not just a luxury but a necessity. Self-compassion is the art of extending kindness to oneself, particularly in moments of failure, pain, or perceived inadequacy. It's about recognizing that, just as we would comfort a loved one who is suffering, we deserve that same comfort and care. The journey to practicing self-compassion begins with acknowledging that being human means being imperfect. Heartbreak, no matter how painful, is not a reflection of failure, but a natural part of life's complexities. The first step in cultivating self-compassion is to silence the inner critic. That critical voice in our minds often tells us we weren't good enough, that we could have done something differently, or that we are unworthy of love. This voice thrives on our insecurities and fears, amplifying them until they feel overwhelming. To combat this, we must learn to counter the inner critic with a more compassionate and rational perspective. One effective strategy is to reframe our internal dialogue. When the inner critic whispers phrases like, "I'll never be happy again," or "This is all my fault," we can respond with self-compassionate statements. "I'm hurting right now, and that's okay," or "This pain doesn't define my future." It's not about ignoring the hurt, but acknowledging it with kindness and understanding. Affirmations can be a powerful tool in this process. These are positive statements we repeat to ourselves, helping to rewire our thoughts over time. Examples include, "I am worthy of love and kindness," "This pain is temporary and I am resilient," and "I am enough just as I am." Writing these affirmations down and placing them where they're easily visible on mirrors, notebooks, or phone screens can serve as daily reminders of self-worth. Another cornerstone of self-compassion is self-care. Heartbreak often leaves us physically and emotionally drained, making it all the more important to nurture ourselves through intentional acts of care. Self-care isn't indulgent, it's restorative. It could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, enjoying a warm bath, or preparing a nourishing meal. These small acts remind us that we deserve love and attention, even from ourselves. Engaging in creative outlets can also be therapeutic. Painting, writing, or playing music allows us to channel our emotions into something constructive and beautiful. It provides a sense of accomplishment and a way to express what words cannot. Similarly, practices like yoga or meditation connect us to our bodies and minds, helping us find balance and inner peace. It's important to surround ourselves with people who uplift us during this time. Compassion from others can remind us how to be compassionate to ourselves. Reaching out to friends or loved ones, sharing our feelings and seeking support can make the burden feel lighter. And if the pain feels too heavy to bear alone, seeking help from a therapist or counselor is a courageous and vital step. Self-compassion also involves forgiving ourselves. We may feel regret or guilt for the role we believe we played in the heartbreak. However, clinging to these feelings only deepens the wound. Forgiveness doesn't mean dismissing accountability, but rather accepting that we did our best with the knowledge and circumstances we had at the time. It's a gift we give ourselves to move forward. As we practice self-compassion, we begin to rebuild our sense of self. We learn to see heartbreak not as something that diminishes us but as an experience that shapes us. With each small act of kindness toward ourselves, we cultivate the resilience to heal and grow. Self-compassion is not a destination but an ongoing journey, a reminder that even in our darkest moments we are worthy of love and care. Chapter 4: Understanding the Role of Attachment. Attachment is at the core of human relationships. From the moment we are born, we form bonds with those around us, bonds that provide comfort, security, and a sense of belonging. These attachments shape how we connect with others and influence our behavior in relationships. When heartbreak occurs, it is often the severing of these deep attachments that makes the pain feel unbearable. Understanding the psychology of attachment begins with recognizing its origins. Attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby, explains that our early experiences with caregivers form the blueprint for how we relate to others. Secure attachments, marked by trust and reliability, create a foundation of confidence in relationships. On the other hand, insecure attachments, whether anxious, avoidant, or a combination of both, can lead to patterns of fear, dependency, or emotional withdrawal. When a relationship ends, the attachment we've built doesn't simply disappear. It's as if an emotional thread is cut, leaving us feeling untethered and longing for the connection we once relied on. This is why letting go can be so difficult. It's not just about the person, it's about the loss of the bond and what it represented. Unhealthy attachments, in particular, can make it even harder to move forward. These are attachments rooted in dependency, fear of abandonment, or an idealized version of the relationship. They often lead us to hold on, even when it's clear the relationship is no longer serving us. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking free. One tool for identifying unhealthy attachments is self-reflection. Journaling can be a helpful practice here. Writing down questions like, "What did this relationship mean to me?" or "Am I holding on out of love or out of fear?" can provide clarity. It's important to be honest with ourselves, even when the answers are uncomfortable. Another strategy is to create physical and emotional distance. This doesn't mean avoiding all memories or pretending the relationship never happened, but setting boundaries that allow us to begin healing. This might involve limiting contact with the person, removing reminders like photos or messages, or even seeking temporary space from mutual friends. These steps help create a buffer, giving us room to focus on ourselves. Mindfulness can also be a powerful tool in loosening emotional ties. By staying present and observing our feelings without judgment, we can begin to detach from the intensity of longing or regret. Meditation exercises that focus on releasing attachments can be particularly effective, guiding us to let go of what no longer serves us. Building new connections is another important aspect of moving on. While it may feel daunting, forming relationships with others, whether friends, family, or new acquaintances, helps fill the void left by the broken attachment. These connections remind us that love and support exist in many forms, not just in the relationship we lost. It's also essential to shift our perspective on letting go. Instead of viewing it as a loss, we can see it as an act of self-love. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the memories or invalidating the relationship's significance. It means releasing the hold it has on us, allowing us to reclaim our emotional freedom and make room for new experiences. The process of loosening attachments takes time and patience. It requires self-awareness, effort, and a willingness to confront our fears. But with each step we take, we move closer to a place of peace. We learn that we are not defined by the attachments we've lost, but by the strength we gain in letting go. In this way, heartbreak becomes not an end but a beginning, a chance to rediscover ourselves and rebuild on a foundation of love and resilience. Chapter 5: The Importance of Setting Boundaries. Setting boundaries is one of the most crucial steps in the journey of healing after heartbreak. It is a declaration of self-respect and an act of reclaiming control over your life. When a relationship ends, the emotional and physical entanglements often linger, making it difficult to move forward. Boundaries act as the framework within which you can find clarity, rebuild yourself, and foster personal growth. The purpose of boundaries is not to punish or shut someone out, but to create a safe space for yourself. After heartbreak, emotions run high, and it is easy to fall into patterns that keep you stuck, such as constant communication with your ex, rehashing the past, or putting their needs above your own. These habits might feel comforting in the moment, but can delay the healing process. Boundaries allow you to establish a clear separation, helping you focus on your well-being. The first step in setting boundaries is understanding what you need. Every individual's situation is unique, so take time to reflect on what will help you heal. Perhaps you need time apart from your ex to regain perspective, or maybe you need to limit conversations to avoid emotional triggers. Defining these needs is the foundation of boundary setting. Once you have identified your needs, communicate them clearly and respectfully. This can be challenging, especially if you still care for the person or fear their reaction. However, boundaries are not about pleasing others, they are about protecting yourself. When expressing your boundaries, be direct and firm but compassionate. For instance, you might say, "I need some space to heal, so I think it's best if we don't contact each other for a while." This sets a clear expectation without assigning blame or guilt. Enforcing boundaries is where many people struggle. It's natural to feel tempted to respond to a message from your ex, or to want to check their social media. However, maintaining boundaries requires discipline and self-awareness. Remind yourself that boundaries are an investment in your future happiness. When the urge to cross a boundary arises, pause and ask yourself, will this action help me heal or will it set me back? Boundaries extend beyond your relationship with your ex, they also apply to your daily life. After heartbreak, you may feel pulled in many directions by friends, family, or even work responsibilities. It's important to set boundaries that allow you to prioritize self-care. For example, you might limit the amount of time you spend discussing your breakup with others, or take a break from social commitments that feel overwhelming. Creating space for yourself is one of the most powerful aspects of setting boundaries. Space allows you to step back, reflect and process your emotions without external influence. It gives you the freedom to explore who you are outside of the relationship and to rediscover what brings you joy. Space is not an act of avoidance, but a gift of self-preservation. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. By standing firm in your needs, you demonstrate self-respect and encourage others to respect you as well. This not only benefits your healing process, but sets a precedent for healthier relationships in the future. Boundaries create a sense of empowerment, reminding you that you are in control of your life and choices. The process of setting boundaries can be uncomfortable at first. It may require saying no, having difficult conversations, or stepping out of your comfort zone. However, the discomfort is temporary, while the benefits are lasting. Boundaries are a form of self-love, a way of telling yourself, "I matter and my well-being is important." As you navigate this journey, be patient with yourself. Boundary setting is a skill that takes practice, and it's okay to make adjustments along the way. What matters most is that you are taking steps to protect your heart and create an environment where healing can thrive. In time, you will find that boundaries are not walls but bridges, connecting you to a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Chapter 6: Rebuilding your sense of self. Heartbreak has a way of stripping us of our sense of identity. When a relationship ends, it can feel as though a piece of ourselves has been lost. We may question who we are without that person, or struggle to remember the things that once made us feel whole. Rebuilding your sense of self is a vital step in the healing process, one that allows you to rediscover your essence and embrace life with renewed purpose. The first step in this journey is acknowledging that your identity is not defined by the relationship. While it may have been an important part of your life, it does not encompass the entirety of who you are. You existed before the relationship, with your own dreams, passions, and values, and those parts of you still remain. Reconnecting with them is the key to rebuilding your sense of self. Start by exploring the hobbies and interests that may have taken a backseat during the relationship. Perhaps you once loved painting, writing, or playing music, but set it aside to focus on your partner. Revisit these activities with curiosity and an open heart. Engaging in something you enjoy can reignite a sense of fulfillment and remind you of your unique talents. This is also an opportunity to try new things. Sign up for a class, join a group, or embark on a solo adventure. Stepping outside of your comfort zone not only broadens your horizons, but also boosts your confidence. Each new experience becomes a building block, in the foundation of your renewed identity. Goal setting is another powerful tool for self-rebuilding. Think about what you want to achieve, both in the short term and long term. These goals don't have to be monumental. They can be as simple as finishing a book, learning a new recipe, or starting a fitness routine. The act of setting and accomplishing goals provides a sense of direction and accomplishment, helping you regain control over your life. Journaling can be a transformative practice during this time. Use it as a space to reflect on your values, aspirations, and the person you want to become. Write about the lessons you've learned from the relationship and how you can use them to grow. Journaling allows you to process your thoughts and emotions while creating a vision for your future. Rebuilding your sense of self also involves nurturing your emotional well-being. Practice self-care in ways that resonate with you, whether it's through meditation, spending time in nature, or indulging in activities that bring you joy. Treat yourself with the kindness and patience you would offer a dear friend. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can make a significant difference. Friends and family who uplift and encourage you can provide the reassurance and motivation you need. At the same time, be mindful of relationships that drain your energy or hinder your growth. Choose to invest your time in connections that align with the person you are becoming. As you reconnect with yourself, it's important to celebrate your progress. Healing is not a linear process, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Acknowledge the moments when you feel stronger, more confident, or at peace. These moments are evidence of your resilience and growth. Rebuilding your sense of self after heartbreak is not about returning to who you were before the relationship. It's about becoming a new, stronger version of yourself, someone who has learned, grown, and emerged from the experience with greater clarity and purpose. It is a journey of self-discovery, one that leads to a deeper understanding of who you are and what you want from life. In the end, heartbreak becomes not just a chapter of loss but a catalyst for transformation. It is through this process of rebuilding that you come to realize your own strength and the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. You are not defined by the pain of the past, but by the courage it takes to create a brighter future. Chapter 7: Finding Closure Without an Apology. Closure is often perceived as a moment of finality, a clear resolution to the pain caused by heartbreak. In many cases, people believe closure can only come through an apology or acknowledgement from the person who hurt them. However, this expectation places the power of healing in someone else's hands, a dangerous and often disappointing position to be in. The truth is, closure is not something that is granted by another, it is something we must create for ourselves. When the person who caused the heartbreak is unwilling or unable to apologize, it can feel like an open wound that refuses to heal. The lack of acknowledgement may lead to feelings of invalidation, frustration, or bitterness. But waiting for an apology that may never come keeps us tied to the past, preventing us from moving forward. The process of finding closure without an apology begins with a shift in perspective, recognizing that closure is not about the other person, it is about reclaiming your peace. The first step in creating personal closure is acceptance. This doesn't mean condoning the hurtful actions or forgetting what happened. Instead, it means accepting the reality of the situation, that the apology or explanation you desire may never come. Acceptance frees you from the grip of unmet expectations, allowing you to focus on what you can control, your own healing. Forgiveness plays a significant role in finding closure, but it is often misunderstood. Forgiveness is not about absolving the other person of responsibility or letting them off the hook. It is about releasing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. Holding on to these emotions only prolongs your suffering, while forgiveness creates space for peace and growth. To forgive, start by acknowledging your pain and validating your feelings. It's important to recognize the hurt and injustice you experienced, as this lays the groundwork for genuine forgiveness. Journaling can be a helpful tool in this process. Write a letter to the person who hurt you, expressing your emotions, frustrations, and unmet expectations, but without the intention of sending it. This exercise allows you to release pent-up emotions in a safe and controlled way. Forgiveness also involves forgiving yourself. After a heartbreak, it's common to replay moments in the relationship, wondering if you could have done something differently or blaming yourself for its end. This self-blame can be as damaging as the original hurt. Remind yourself that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Self-forgiveness is an act of self-compassion, allowing you to let go of guilt and embrace your humanity. Creating closure often requires a symbolic act. This could be as simple as lighting a candle, writing down your pain, and then tearing it up, or even planting a flower as a representation of growth and renewal. These rituals provide a tangible way to mark the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Another aspect of finding closure is reframing the narrative of the relationship. Instead of viewing it solely through the lens of pain, try to see it as a chapter in your personal journey, a chapter that taught you valuable lessons and shaped you into who you are today. This shift in perspective helps to neutralize the emotional charge of the memories, allowing you to carry them with grace rather than heaviness. Lastly, surround yourself with support. Healing is not a solitary journey, and sharing your feelings with trusted friends, family, or a therapist can provide comfort and guidance. These connections remind you that you are not alone, and that your worth is not determined by the actions of another. Closure, ultimately, is an act of self-liberation. It is a gift you give to yourself, a way of saying, "I deserve peace and I choose to move forward." While an apology may offer temporary relief, true closure comes from within. It is the moment you decide to release the past and step boldly into the future, knowing that you are whole and worthy of love just as you are. Chapter 8: The Healing Power of Gratitude. Heartbreak often leaves us focused on what we've lost, consumed by thoughts of pain and longing. It can feel impossible to find anything positive in the midst of such sorrow. However, gratitude has the unique ability to shift our perspective, transforming the way we experience loss and guiding us toward healing. Gratitude is not about ignoring the pain, but about finding light within the darkness, a reminder that even in moments of struggle there is still beauty to be found. Gratitude begins with a simple choice: to focus on what we have rather than what we lack. After heartbreak, this might seem counterintuitive, but it is a powerful tool for reclaiming joy. Start by acknowledging the lessons learned from the relationship. Every relationship, no matter how it ends, offers opportunities for growth. Perhaps it taught you how to love deeply, how to set boundaries, or how to stand up for yourself. These lessons are gifts that you carry forward, shaping the person you are becoming. Gratitude also allows us to appreciate the good moments we shared with someone, even if the relationship ended in pain. Remembering the laughter, connection, or support you experienced does not diminish the hurt, but adds depth to your understanding of the relationship. It reminds you that it wasn't all for nothing, that those moments of joy were real and meaningful. One way to cultivate gratitude is through a daily gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you are grateful for. These can be big or small: a supportive friend, a beautiful sunset, or even the simple act of making it through another day. Over time, this practice trains your mind to seek out the positives, creating a habit of appreciation that counterbalances feelings of loss. Gratitude can also be expressed through acts of kindness. When we extend generosity to others, we create a ripple effect of positivity that uplifts both ourselves and those around us. This might involve volunteering, helping a friend in need, or simply offering a smile to a stranger. These small acts remind us of the interconnectedness of humanity and the power we have to make a difference. Nature can be a profound source of gratitude as well. Spending time outdoors, whether in a park, by the ocean, or in your own backyard, helps to ground us in the present moment. The beauty and resilience of nature serve as a reminder of life's cycles, of growth, renewal, and the enduring capacity for healing. Gratitude does not erase the pain of heartbreak, but it does provide a counterbalance. It helps to reframe our experience, allowing us to see the good that exists alongside the hurt. It is a practice that grows stronger with time, like a muscle that becomes more resilient with use. As you cultivate gratitude, you may find that it begins to extend beyond the relationship and into other areas of your life. You may become more appreciative of the people who support you, the opportunities that lie ahead, or even the strength you've discovered within yourself. Gratitude shifts the focus from what was taken away to what remains, illuminating the abundance that surrounds you. In the end, gratitude is a celebration of life's complexity, a way of honoring both the joy and the sorrow. It is a reminder that even in the face of heartbreak, there is still so much to be thankful for. By embracing gratitude, you open the door to healing, allowing love and light to re-enter your life. Chapter 9: Navigating the Waves of Loneliness. Heartbreak often brings with it an overwhelming sense of loneliness. The absence of a person who once played a central role in your life can leave a void that feels impossible to fill. The world may suddenly seem quieter, your days emptier, and your nights longer. The ache of isolation becomes a constant companion, whispering doubts and fears that can deepen your pain. But while loneliness is a natural part of the healing process, it does not have to consume you. It is possible to navigate these waves of solitude, finding both connection and peace within yourself. Loneliness after heartbreak often stems from the sudden shift in your daily routine and emotional landscape. Where once there was shared laughter, conversation, and support, now there is silence. This void can make you question your worth and your ability to find happiness again. However, it's important to remember that loneliness is not a reflection of your value, but a temporary state of being. It is a response to change, and like all emotions, it can be worked through with time and effort. One of the first steps in overcoming loneliness is to acknowledge and validate your feelings. Pretending that you're fine, or ignoring your emotions, will only prolong the pain. Instead, allow yourself to sit with your loneliness and explore its roots. What exactly are you missing? Is it the person, the routine, or the sense of belonging they provided? Understanding the nature of your loneliness can help you address it more effectively. Reaching out to others is a crucial aspect of navigating loneliness. While it may feel easier to retreat into isolation, surrounding yourself with supportive people can provide comfort and perspective. Friends, family, or even support groups can remind you that you are not alone in your experience. Share your feelings with those you trust, and let them offer their presence and understanding. Building a social network that uplifts and encourages you can make all the difference in your healing journey. At the same time, it's important to recognize that connection with others doesn't mean avoiding solitude altogether. Learning to enjoy your own company is a powerful antidote to loneliness. Solitude, when embraced, can become a space for self-discovery and growth. Use this time to explore your interests, try new activities, or simply reflect on your goals and values. By cultivating a sense of independence, you can begin to see yourself not as incomplete without a partner, but as whole and capable on your own. Creativity can also play a significant role in transforming loneliness into fulfillment. Engage in activities that bring you joy and allow you to express yourself. Whether it's painting, writing, cooking, or gardening, creative pursuits provide an outlet for your emotions and a sense of accomplishment. They also serve as a reminder of your ability to create beauty and meaning, even in difficult times. Another strategy for combating loneliness is to focus on helping others. Acts of kindness, whether big or small, can shift your perspective and bring a sense of purpose. Volunteer at a local organization, help a friend in need, or simply offer a listening ear to someone going through their own challenges. These actions not only build connections, but also reinforce the idea that you have value to offer the world. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools for addressing loneliness. They help ground you in the present moment, reducing the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. By focusing on your breath, sensations, or surroundings, you can find a sense of calm and clarity amidst the storm of emotions. Mindfulness also teaches you to observe your loneliness without judgment, creating space for acceptance and healing. Loneliness, while painful, is also an opportunity, a chance to reconnect with yourself and rediscover what truly matters to you. By balancing connection with others and self-exploration, you can navigate these waves with resilience and grace. In time, loneliness will no longer feel like an enemy but a stepping stone toward deeper understanding and self-love. Chapter 10: Rediscovering Joy. After the darkness of heartbreak, the idea of rediscovering joy may feel distant or even impossible. The weight of pain and loss can overshadow the simple pleasures of life, leaving you questioning if you'll ever feel happiness again. But joy is not something that vanishes. It is a flame that can be reignited even in the face of sorrow. Rediscovering joy is a gradual process, one that begins with small moments and grows into a renewed sense of wonder and possibility. The journey to joy starts with shifting your perspective. Heartbreak often narrows our focus, making us dwell on what we've lost rather than what remains. By consciously choosing to look for the good in your life, you can begin to break free from this cycle. Gratitude plays a key role here. Take a moment each day to reflect on something that brings you even the smallest amount of happiness: a warm cup of coffee, the sound of birds outside your window, or a kind word from a friend. These moments of appreciation, though seemingly insignificant, lay the foundation for a more joyful outlook. One of the most effective ways to rediscover joy is to immerse yourself in new experiences. Heartbreak can leave you feeling stuck, as if your world has shrunk. Trying something new, whether it's learning a skill, visiting a place you've never been, or meeting new people, can open your mind and expand your horizons. These experiences remind you that life is full of possibilities, and that there is still so much to explore and enjoy. Joy is often found in the present moment, but it requires us to slow down and pay attention. In our fast-paced lives, we often overlook the beauty and wonder around us. Mindfulness can help you tune into these moments, whether it's the feeling of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite food, or the sound of laughter. By savoring these experiences, you cultivate a sense of presence and gratitude that naturally leads to joy. Creativity is another powerful avenue for rediscovering happiness. Engaging in artistic or creative activities allows you to express yourself and connect with your emotions in a positive way. Whether it's painting, writing, dancing, or playing music, creativity can be a source of healing and inspiration. It provides an outlet for your pain, while also giving you something to celebrate and take pride in. Connection with others is also essential for finding joy. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Share moments of laughter, engage in meaningful conversations, and create new memories together. These connections remind you of the love and support that exist in your life, even in the absence of a romantic relationship. Self-care is a cornerstone of rediscovering joy. Take time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. This might mean getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, or engaging in physical activity that makes you feel good. It also means treating yourself with kindness and patience, recognizing that healing takes time. As you rediscover joy, remember that it doesn't have to come in grand gestures or monumental changes. Often, it's the small, everyday moments that bring the most profound happiness. A walk in nature, a heartfelt conversation, or the satisfaction of completing a task can all spark joy if you allow yourself to notice and appreciate them. In the end, rediscovering joy is not about erasing the pain of heartbreak, but about reclaiming your capacity for happiness. It is a process of rebuilding one step at a time, until you find yourself smiling again, not because the pain is gone, but because you found something worth celebrating. Joy is always within reach, waiting for you to embrace it and let it light your way forward. Chapter 11: Reframing the Narrative. Heartbreak has a way of distorting our perception, making the pain of loss feel as though it defines our entire existence. The weight of the past can feel unbearable, and the story of the relationship may dominate our thoughts, leaving us trapped in a cycle of what-ifs and regrets. However, healing begins when we choose to rewrite the story we tell ourselves. Reframing the narrative of a breakup is not about denying the pain or erasing the memories. It is about placing them in perspective and reclaiming control over our personal journey. Every relationship is a chapter in the greater story of our lives. Some chapters are filled with joy and triumph, while others bring challenge and heartbreak. When a relationship ends, it's natural to dwell on that chapter, analyzing its twists and turns, wondering where it all went wrong. But it's important to remember that a single chapter, no matter how significant, does not define the entire book. By reframing the narrative, we can begin to see the breakup not as a devastating conclusion, but as a pivotal turning point in our growth. Reframing starts with acknowledging the relationship for what it was, a meaningful experience that shaped you, taught you, and ultimately brought you to where you are now. This doesn't mean idealizing the past or downplaying the pain. Instead, it involves recognizing the value of the relationship and the lessons it imparted, even if it didn't end the way you hoped. Perhaps it taught you how to love more deeply, how to set boundaries, or how to recognize what you truly need in a partner. These lessons are gifts that you carry forward into the next chapters of your life. One of the most challenging aspects of reframing is letting go of the blame, whether directed at yourself or your ex. Blame keeps us tethered to the past, preventing us from moving forward. Instead of fixating on who was right or wrong, try to view the breakup as a shared experience. Relationships are complex, and their endings are rarely the result of a single action or decision. By accepting the breakup as part of your story, rather than a personal failure, you can begin to release the emotional weight it carries. Perspective plays a crucial role in reframing. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. The relationship may have been a significant part of your journey, but it is not the entirety of it. Think about the goals, passions, and dreams you had before the relationship, and consider how they fit into your story now. Reconnecting with these aspects of yourself can help you see the breakup as an opportunity for growth and rediscovery. Another powerful tool in reframing is gratitude. While it may seem counterintuitive to feel grateful after a breakup, focusing on the positive aspects of the relationship can shift your perspective. What did the relationship bring into your life? Perhaps it introduced you to new experiences, helped you discover a hidden strength, or even led you to meet other important people. Gratitude allows you to appreciate the role the relationship played in your journey without becoming consumed by its loss. Journaling can be an effective way to reframe the narrative. Write down the story of your relationship, including its highs and lows. Then, rewrite it with a focus on what you learned and how it contributed to your personal growth. This exercise can help you see the breakup in a new light, transforming it from a source of pain to a chapter of resilience and self-discovery. As you reframe the narrative, remind yourself that this chapter is not the end of your story. The breakup is a moment in time, one that will eventually become a memory, rather than a defining feature of your identity. The pages ahead are blank, waiting to be filled with new adventures, relationships, and achievements. By choosing to view the breakup as a chapter rather than the entire book, you empower yourself to keep writing your story with hope and purpose. Chapter 12: Letting Go of What Could Have Been. The end of a relationship often brings with it the loss of not just a partner, but the future you envisioned together. The plans you made, the dreams you shared, and the life you imagined now feel like they've slipped through your fingers, leaving behind a sense of emptiness and unfulfilled potential. Letting go of what could have been is one of the most difficult aspects of healing, but it is also one of the most liberating. When a relationship ends, it's natural to mourn the future you had envisioned. Perhaps you imagined growing old together, starting a family, or achieving certain milestones side by side. These fantasies become intertwined with your identity and your sense of purpose, making their loss feel deeply personal. However, it's important to recognize that these visions, while meaningful, were based on a shared reality that no longer exists. Holding on to them only prolongs the pain and prevents you from embracing the possibilities of a new future. Letting go begins with acknowledging the grief that comes with losing those dreams. Allow yourself to feel the sadness, disappointment, and even anger that accompany this loss. These emotions are valid and deserve to be processed. Journaling can be a helpful tool during this time, providing a safe space to explore your feelings and articulate the specific dreams you're grieving. By putting them into words, you can begin to release their hold on you. One of the biggest barriers to letting go is the what-if mindset, the endless loop of imagining how things could have been different. What if you had tried harder? What if they had made a different choice? These thoughts, while tempting, keep you trapped in a cycle of regret and self-doubt. To break free, remind yourself that the past cannot be changed and that the future is not yet written. The only moment you have control over is the present. Releasing fantasies about the future also involves challenging the beliefs that keep you tied to them. For example, you might believe that this person was your only chance at happiness, or that the life you imagined together was the only one worth pursuing. These beliefs are limiting and often untrue. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you, and consider how those values can be fulfilled in other ways. Happiness and fulfillment are not tied to a single person or path. They are created by your choices and mindset. Visualization can be a powerful tool for letting go. Close your eyes and picture the future you had envisioned with your ex. See it clearly in your mind, and then imagine placing it in a box. Visualize yourself gently closing the box and setting it aside, symbolizing your decision to release it. This exercise can help you create a sense of closure and make space for new possibilities. As you let go of what could have been, focus on embracing the present and the opportunities it holds. The end of one dream does not mean the end of all dreams. In fact, it opens the door to new possibilities you may not have considered before. Take this time to explore your passions, set new goals, and envision a future that aligns with your growth and happiness. Letting go of the future you imagined is not about erasing the past or dismissing its significance. It is about accepting that life is a dynamic journey, one that often takes unexpected turns. By releasing the grip of what could have been, you free yourself to fully engage with the present, and to build a future that reflects your strength, resilience, and renewed sense of purpose. In the end, letting go is an act of self-love. It is a choice to honor your journey, to value your growth, and to trust in the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. The future is not something to be feared or mourned. It is a blank canvas, waiting for you to create something beautiful. Chapter 13: Healing Through Mindfulness. Heartbreak can leave us feeling overwhelmed by the constant churn of thoughts and emotions. The mind becomes a storm of regrets about the past, and anxieties about the future, pulling us away from the present moment. This mental and emotional turbulence makes it difficult to find peace or clarity. However, mindfulness offers a powerful antidote, a way to anchor ourselves in the present and navigate the pain of heartbreak with compassion and awareness. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our full attention to the present moment without judgment. It encourages us to observe our thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they are, rather than trying to fight or escape them. Through mindfulness, we can create a space of stillness amidst the chaos, allowing us to process our emotions and begin the journey of healing. One of the simplest yet most effective mindfulness practices is meditation. Meditation does not require any special tools or settings. It only requires a willingness to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Begin by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, letting it out slowly through your mouth. As you breathe, pay attention to the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath without judgment. Even a few minutes of meditation each day can help calm your mind and reduce anxiety. Breathing exercises are another powerful tool for mindfulness. The way we breathe has a direct impact on our nervous system, and conscious breathing can help us shift from a state of stress to one of relaxation. One effective technique is the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. This practice slows your heart rate, reduces stress, and brings your attention to the present. Journaling is another form of mindfulness that allows you to process your thoughts and emotions in a tangible way. Set aside time each day to write about how you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and any thoughts that come to mind. Writing helps you externalize your emotions, giving you a sense of clarity and release. It can also be a space for self-reflection, allowing you to recognize patterns, understand your triggers, and gain insight into your healing process. Mindfulness can also be practiced through simple everyday activities. Whether you're walking, eating, or washing dishes, bring your full attention to the task at hand. Notice the sensations, smells, and sounds around you. For example, if you're eating a meal, focus on the taste and texture of each bite. These small acts of mindfulness ground you in the present and remind you of the beauty and richness of the moment. One of the most challenging aspects of heartbreak is the tendency to ruminate, to replay past events and imagine different outcomes. Mindfulness teaches us to observe these thoughts without becoming entangled in them. When a painful memory arises, acknowledge it with kindness and let it pass, much like watching clouds drift across the sky. This practice helps to reduce the power these thoughts hold over us, allowing us to find a sense of peace. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine can also help you cultivate self-compassion. As you observe your emotions without judgment, you begin to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. This self-compassion creates a safe space for healing, where you can acknowledge your pain without being consumed by it. Healing through mindfulness is not about eliminating pain or avoiding difficult emotions. It is about learning to sit with those emotions, to understand them, and to let them move through you. By staying present, you create room for acceptance, resilience, and growth. Over time, mindfulness becomes not just a practice but a way of being, one that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace and inner peace. Chapter 14: The Role of Forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many people view it as an act of absolution, a way of letting someone off the hook for their actions. However, true forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment and pain. It is an act of self-liberation, a choice to let go of the anger and bitterness that hold you captive, so you can move forward with a lighter heart. Heartbreak can leave us with deep wounds, some of which are accompanied by feelings of betrayal, anger, or injustice. These emotions are natural responses to being hurt, but when they are left unchecked, they can harden into resentment. Resentment acts like a heavy chain, tying us to the past and preventing us from fully embracing the present. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks that chain. The journey to forgiveness begins with acknowledging the pain. It's important to validate your feelings and recognize the impact the other person's actions had on you. This is not about excusing their behavior, but about giving yourself permission to feel what you feel. Suppressing or denying your emotions only prolongs the healing process. Once you've acknowledged your pain, consider what holding on to resentment is costing you. Anger and bitterness require energy to sustain, energy that could be directed toward your own growth and happiness. By clinging to these emotions, you allow the person who hurt you to continue exerting control over your life. Forgiveness is a way of reclaiming that control, of saying, "You no longer have power over me." Forgiving yourself is just as important as forgiving the other person. After a breakup, it's common to dwell on mistakes you made or things you could have done differently. This self-blame can be just as damaging as resentment toward your ex. Remind yourself that you are human, and humans are imperfect. You did the best you could, with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Self-forgiveness is an act of self-compassion, a way of offering yourself the grace and understanding you deserve. Forgiveness is not a single act but a process. It may take time, and that's okay. Start with small steps, such as writing a letter to the person who hurt you. In this letter, express your feelings honestly, but instead of focusing on blame, write about your decision to let go. You don't have to send the letter. The act of writing it is enough to begin releasing the burden you carry. Visualization can also be a powerful tool for forgiveness. Close your eyes and imagine the person who hurt you standing before you. Picture yourself holding the pain and anger in your hands. Then, visualize yourself setting it down and walking away. This symbolic act helps to reinforce your intention to let go. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or reconciling. It doesn't mean you have to welcome the person back into your life, or pretend that nothing happened. It simply means choosing not to let their actions define your future. It is an act of self-love, a way of prioritizing your peace and well-being. As you practice forgiveness, you may find that it opens the door to gratitude. By letting go of resentment, you create space to appreciate the lessons the experience taught you. Perhaps it showed you what you truly value in a relationship, or revealed your own strength and resilience. These lessons are gifts that can guide you as you move forward. Forgiveness is a deeply personal journey, one that requires patience and courage. It is not something you do for the benefit of the other person, but for your own freedom. By releasing the weight of resentment, you make room for joy, love, and the possibility of a brighter future. In the end, forgiveness is not about what you let go of, it's about what you gain: peace, healing, and the ability to fully embrace life once more. Chapter 15: Love After Heartbreak. Heartbreak often leaves us questioning our ability to love again. The pain of loss can feel so consuming that it seems impossible to imagine opening our hearts to someone else or even to ourselves. Trust may feel shattered, hope diminished, and the thought of vulnerability may be terrifying. But the truth is, heartbreak is not the end of love. It is a chapter in our journey that can lead to a deeper understanding of what love truly means. To find love after heartbreak, we must first reconnect with the most fundamental love of all: self-love. The end of a relationship can leave us feeling unworthy or incomplete, as though the love we shared with another person defined our value. But self-love is not contingent on someone else's affection or validation. It is a choice to recognize your inherent worth and to nurture your relationship with yourself. Rebuilding self-love begins with kindness. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend, gently and with compassion. Acknowledge your pain without judgment, and remind yourself that it is a natural part of healing. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time in nature, or simply taking care of your body through rest and nourishment. These acts of self-care are not selfish, they are necessary steps toward healing and rediscovering your worth. As you cultivate self-love, you also lay the foundation for future relationships. Heartbreak teaches us valuable lessons about what we want and need in a partner. It reveals our boundaries, our non-negotiables, and the qualities that truly matter to us. Use this time to reflect on those lessons, not as a way to dwell on the past, but as a guide for the future. What did the relationship teach you about love, and how can you carry those insights forward? The idea of loving someone else after heartbreak may feel daunting. The fear of being hurt again can create barriers that prevent us from opening our hearts. But love is not about eliminating risk, it is about choosing to trust despite the uncertainty. Vulnerability is the essence of love, and while it can be scary, it is also what makes love so transformative. Take small steps toward opening your heart. Start by fostering connections with friends and family, deepening the relationships that bring you comfort and joy. Allow yourself to experience the warmth of human connection, without the pressure of romantic involvement. As you rebuild your capacity for trust, you may find yourself more open to the possibility of new love. It's important to remember that finding love again doesn't have to happen on a specific timeline. There is no rush, no need to force feelings or relationships before you're ready. Love will come when the time is right, and when it does, it will feel natural and aligned with your growth. In the meantime, focus on living fully in the present, embracing the opportunities and experiences that come your way. When new love does enter your life, approach it with the wisdom you've gained from the past. Communicate openly, set healthy boundaries, and prioritize mutual respect and understanding. Remember that no relationship is perfect, and every partnership requires effort and compromise. But with the right person, love can be a source of joy, support, and shared growth. Heartbreak, as painful as it is, does not diminish your ability to love deeply. In fact, it often expands your capacity for love, teaching you resilience, empathy, and the importance of cherishing the connections that truly matter. Love after heartbreak is not just possible, it is inevitable for those who choose to remain open to it. The heart is a remarkable thing. It has an infinite capacity to heal and to love again. Chapter 16: Embracing a New Beginning. Every ending carries within it the seeds of a new beginning. Heartbreak, though it may feel like a closing chapter, is also an opportunity for transformation. It is a chance to rediscover yourself, to reimagine your future, and to embrace the possibilities that life has to offer. Letting go of the past is not about forgetting or erasing what happened, it is about making peace with it, and allowing yourself to move forward with hope and purpose. Embracing a new beginning starts with letting go of the weight you've been carrying. This means releasing the pain, resentment, and regrets that tie you to the past. It's not an easy process, but it is a liberating one. Letting go doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual journey that requires patience and self-compassion. Trust that with each step you take, the burden will become lighter. The first step in embracing a new beginning is to shift your focus from what you've lost to what you've gained. Heartbreak, while painful, often teaches us invaluable lessons about ourselves and our relationships. Perhaps it revealed your strength, your ability to persevere, or the importance of self-care. These lessons are gifts that you can carry into the next chapter of your life, shaping you into a more resilient and self-aware person. As you let go of the past, allow yourself to dream about the future. What do you want to create in your life? What goals, passions, or adventures excite you? Heartbreak clears the slate, giving you the freedom to reimagine your path. Use this time to explore new opportunities, whether it's pursuing a career change, traveling to a place you've always wanted to visit, or learning a new skill. These experiences not only bring joy, but also help you build a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It's also important to surround yourself with positivity. Seek out people, environments, and activities that uplift and inspire you. Spend time with friends and family who support your growth and encourage you to embrace life's possibilities. Limit your exposure to negativity, whether it comes from toxic relationships, unhelpful thoughts, or even social media. Create a space where you can thrive, both emotionally and mentally. Mindfulness can play a powerful role in embracing a new beginning. By staying present, you can fully engage with the experiences and opportunities in front of you. Mindfulness teaches us to appreciate the beauty of the moment, whether it's a quiet sunrise, a heartfelt conversation, or the satisfaction of accomplishing a goal. These moments of presence remind us that life is rich and multifaceted, full of joys that go beyond any single relationship. Forgiveness is another essential component of moving forward. Forgiving yourself and others allows you to release the emotional baggage that keeps you stuck. It is a way of honoring your journey and choosing to prioritize your peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It means deciding that your future is more important than your past. As you embrace a new beginning, celebrate the progress you've made. Healing is not a linear process, and there will be moments of struggle. But each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your strength and determination. Acknowledge your growth and give yourself credit for the resilience you've shown. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, moments of joy and moments of challenge. But each experience adds depth and meaning to your story. By letting go of the past and embracing the present, you create a future that reflects your values, your dreams, and your capacity for love. In the end, embracing a new beginning is not about erasing the pain of heartbreak, but about transforming it into something beautiful. It is about choosing to live fully, to love deeply, and to trust in the endless possibilities that life holds. Your story is far from over. This is just the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope, growth, and the promise of brighter days ahead. Thank you for reading this book. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review. Margaret Light. Disclaimer. This book was created with the assistance of artificial intelligence. While every effort has been made to ensure the accuracy and relevance of the content, readers should note that the ideas and perspectives presented are generated by AI and should not be considered professional advice. Readers are encouraged to apply their own judgment and consult experts where needed.